Hello, I'm here with Andrew MARFLEET, who was one of the gentlemen who was involved in the creation of Walton Nursing at the very beginning, back in 2006, no, 2003.
Yeah, 2003, the idea was just beginning. We took
Of it
on.
doing. And am I right in saying it was the vanguard of parish nursing within the United Kingdom? It was a result of an American
initiative. It was just
initiative?
being discovered. They'd had it in America. We looked into this and decided, yeah, we could do this, but we were pioneers for the UK.
Really?
There are literally hundreds now all over the country.
Right. So it's only been running sort of in this sort of 2000s, 2003
it's been the last
onward.
15 years or so that it's actually been running in the UK.
That's
and
quite amazing.
It's all over the place now, Scotland, Ireland, and
so it's a bit like the WI took off from Canada and then spread
that's
around the world.
Kind of way, yeah.
Yeah, good idea.
And we, it might not seem a good British thing to do when we've got a good health service, but the parish nursing actually addresses more than just physical health. It's mental health.
It's a holistic
health, social needs, the holistic thing.
The whole of the
and
thing.
That's the way it goes, and that's why churches got involved.
And I suppose if we look at a parish and we look at the geography of a parish and the parishioners within it, they probably know better the needs of individual parishioners than possibly the GP or whatever.
Well, that's right.
The better knowledge of need.
We thought we knew. We did a survey as well, and we found out a bit more by asking people. And
there's
a lot of poverty, a lot of loneliness in areas like Walton.
Right.
So we got stuck in as a church, initially just the Baptist church.
Right.
But it grew, and
so you had a 3-year pilot, is that right?
3-year pilot, yeah.
Right, and that was supported by?
Well, the church itself, but also the Eastern Baptist Association, the larger body,
right,
helped out a bit. And initially, the nurse who was our first parish nurse did it voluntarily. She did a day a week for nothing.
Right.
And it wasn't until 2006 that we decided, right, we can now launch
this. Could be a running
2 days a week,
right,
salaried. And we had a professional parish nurse.
And at that point, that was still the Baptist church who was running
just
this
one
initiative.
church. Although some of the funding came from outside bodies, local charities available to help.
I must admit, I'm not surprised. But then you had a lucky coincidence, and that your next nurse was of another church. Was that right or not?
Yes, I mean at the time we didn't see it as a lucky coincidence. Jane, her initial, had to give up for family reasons, and she went back to the health service, and so we were stuck. The person who was standing in for her was a Methodist, a trained nurse who was one of our volunteers.
Very fortuitous.
And it got Seaton Road Methodist folk very interested, and they not only said, "Look, can we be part of this?" but they said, "We know people at Methodist district level who will come up with money for this."
Oh wow, then they're always welcome, aren't they?
They're always welcome. So we signed up to that, and they were part of this, and we were looking at this being a joint project.
Right.
And it was all ready to go when Nikki, who's the standing nurse, decided that she didn't want the job permanently.
Right. So
and we thought maybe Jane would come back and we'd have two of them.
Right.
Jane decided she wasn't coming back. Nikki decided she was going to do something else. And we were left. We had lots of money by then, and no parish nurse. So we put out an advert.
Right.
And one of the notices was pinned up in St Mary's Church.
Oh right.
And on the last day of the closing date for applications, Lorna Bellamy spotted this and thought, I could do that.
Oh right.
So
that was a very close run.
And it was a close run, but we interviewed Lorna, and her family was known to us.
Yes.
In-laws went to Mason Road Baptist, so they came on board, and that was where really effectively it was a 3-church involvement, because we were looking into drawing up a new constitution. This was the time when the government had actually allowed charitable bodies to form what they call a charitable incorporated institution. I think that's the right name for it.
Yeah, I've got the same problem.
A charitable incorporated organisation.
So it's a CIO.
CIO.
Have you got that, folks? Because I get community interest companies, which is a similar but commercial organisation, but it allows charities to function across the piece.
You're a charitable trust, but you don't have to be registered with Companies House.
No, that's
just the Charity Commission.
No, that's good. So really, so you had a change in the law. You had 3 parishes, all within
3 churches who all.
Everything was going for you.
Yeah, we covenanted together. We drew up a constitution. We formed a trustee body, which has the oversight of this thing. The there's a management team who do the spade work,
Right.
meet more regularly,
Yes.
involving the parish nurses themselves. But we
So
got
when
that-
was this? The incorporation was 2011?
I think we actually came through in 2013 before we were fully
Right, so that was,
incorporated.
so you've been running in that format for what, 8 years now?
8 years as CIO, with
yeah.
our own bank accounts,
The whole bit.
separate, supported by the churches, but as an independent trust.
Excellent. So really, then you keep going, or it keeps going, regardless really of the state of each individual congregation in the bit.
Yes, I mean,
which gives it its own life and its own
and
vitality.
contributing
Really,
different things. We use the premises at Maidstone Road quite a lot. Seaton Road used their buildings. They initially gave a lot more money,
right?
but now we found it's the Anglicans have got more money, but but it doesn't depend on the churches having
No.
money.
No.
Individuals who've become friends of parish nursing are very generous.
Yes.
Various local organisations like the Golden Sunset Trust and others who supported us from the start. We've had money we've had grants from district councillors and county councillors even.
Good.
Community, the locality fund.
Have you had anything from the clinical commissioning group when it existed, or did you never? Because it struck me that your particular story would make a very good story as a patient experience to the board, and that is something that whereby you're actually supporting an area where there are gaps and known within community health that could be helped by the CCG.
We've tried this, and it's interesting how money has come.
Yeah.
East Suffolk gave us some we were interviewed and convinced them that what we were doing, having the health fairs where we got folk together. And
yes, that's very good. Yeah.
even though we went to the Labour Club for venue and so on. Yeah, we've done a variety of things, and this is the way the work expanded. We run chair-based exercise classes, two classes a week. We go into Collimore Court. There's a thing called Soulmates,
Yes.
which is literally washing people's feet.
Right.
Interesting question. People say, what would you do if you knew had less than 24 hours to live?
Quite. Yeah.
Well, Jesus washed people's feet.
Yeah, indeed.
So it's quite a good example in a way to take that one up. So leg care.
And that is a great need.
And it stops people
a growing need.
becoming infected and then troubling the health service.
And equally isolated. Reduces isolation.
It does,
of
and
individuals.
all the work is personal contact. It's even during the pandemic, it's phone calls that were really important. Lonely people who need help, need someone to get close to them.
Right.
And not just the professionals, because most of the volunteers are not professionals, but a lot of us know how to sit down and have a chat to somebody, have a cup of tea with them, and just make them feel wanted.
Which is fine.
And that's really important.
It is.
And so that we don't belittle that is, and even the parish nurses, it's that conversation they're having with them.
Right.
And often they'll refer them on. They won't do anything. Lorna wouldn't even put a plaster on somebody if she's working as a parish nurse.
No.
But she can spot someone with high blood pressure and say, see your GP.
Yeah.
It's that referring people on to the.
Well, I think
system
one of the, I've been involved in sort of the health area for other reasons since 2003, and signposting of what services exist and where and how you get them is key actually to retaining a community's health. And if people don't know where to go and how to get it, your community suffers as a result. So I think the Walton Parish Nursing is that is a strong part of its delivery. Really along the line.
The networking between the churches and the church and community and the health service and the social care and all the rest, it's bringing this together and that kind of knowledge. And because the work grew, and we didn't just stop with Lorna, we ended up having the money to have an occupational therapist.
Yes.
Who was replaced by another occupational therapist. Then we also had surprise funding by someone left as a legacy for.
Yes, you said I was, and that just dropped through your door as a solicitor's letter. Solicitor's letter.
Large cheque drops in your letterbox, enough funding for a parish nurse for 2 years.
No, that's good, isn't it?
So we appointed a mental health nurse. We got John Gillett to join the team. He was actually approaching retirement, but he decided this was just the sort of thing.
Ideal. Yeah, I mean, there's
very good knowledge of the system.
I mean, I come from a little village in Devon, and what was interesting to me as a child, though I didn't realise it at the time, was a number of older nurses who had retired functioned as the village nurse. So if somebody really, because
right.
we didn't have a doctor, we didn't have a clinic, we had nothing. So you would go and see Mrs. Ryder or whoever, who would actually patch you up and do whatever, and put you out to play again. But you wouldn't be rushing off to A&E or whatever, because you didn't have a car, etc., etc. And those things did exist, and perhaps we're bringing them back again. And I mean, it strikes me that probably Jesus would be quite pleased to see the community looking after itself.
Yeah, he didn't sort of...
In quite a significant way. I don't think the
apostles were given a contract and paid any money.
I
suspect that they're all volunteers, and that's how the church has carried on ever since.
Pretty much.
And there's you employ a few professionals. Parish nursing is like that. We will employ a few professionals. We've now got a mental health nurse, John, and a parish nurse, Lorna, and between them they do the equivalent of one full-time person.
Right. So you detect divine intervention all the way from 2003 to now, in that money and people have appeared at appropriate times, the right times.
At times
it's grown. I understand the formation of actually 3 separate churches within Walton Parish working together is a first in the UK.
Yes, I don't think...
as a trust.
Most churches would employ a part-time parish nurse, and this was the model. It would be one church-based nurse. We broke the mould a bit by saying we'll
do it across 3
churches.
Yeah, no, I think that's brilliant.
Others have followed suit, and not very many actually, but it's been discovered that you can do this.
Excellent. So, what next?
Well,
no, we didn't prepare for this, did we? So what's next?
In a sense, you want to maintain what you're doing.
Yes. But taking in mind we've been through this appalling 2-year pandemic, we will move to an epidemic at some point and get back into normality. But things must have been learnt during the pandemic because there was much more isolation for a lot of very vulnerable people during that period.
Even if you could only phone people,
exactly.
Personal contacts were really important.
Yes.
The mental health needs have increased, not decreased. Yeah. As you can imagine.
Very much so. Yeah.
The effect on people have been
pretty devastating.
So we want to continue with that. One of the most recent decisions we made as trustees was to keep up the hours for our mental health nurse.
Right.
And within days of that decision,
another cheque arrived.
£2,000 given us by a local charity to help with that. And that's been the way. You step out in faith, you commit yourself, even if you haven't got the money.
Quite.
And the money or the people will turn up.
Yeah, amazing.
So in a sense, that's the way we proceed. It's not logical by the world's way of doing it, but that is, within a Christian context, that is the normal method. Expect surprises.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for your time, Andrew. I've already done Lorna, but we will continue to do a periodic catch-up with Walton nurses, and hope you have a ongoing and improving 2022.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you very much indeed for your time.
Thanks, Mike.
Walton Parish Nursing is a registered charity provided by the 3 churches in Walton. That's the Baptist Church, the Methodist Church and St Mary's in Walton. Walton Parish Nursing is able to offer physical, mental and social and spiritual well-being to people in the local community. Health promotion, such as health fairs. It offers chair-based exercise classes, health consultations, leg care, end-of-life care, support with mental health issues, signposting to other agencies, in other words, health advice, transport to medical appointments. Now, everyone is welcome to the following groups wherever you live. That is the health drop-ins, which are held at the Leydens in Langley Avenue on the first Tuesday of the month between 10 and 11:30 in the morning. crafty mornings at the Leydens on the first and third Tuesdays of the month, and craft from the heart at Maidstone Road Baptist Church monthly on Wednesdays 2 to 4. There is also No Labels, which is for adults who experience issues with mental health, which is held 1:30 to 3:30 on the second and fourth Tuesday each month at Seaton Road Methodist Hall. And Visibility, a group for working age people with challenging physical abilities. And this is on the second Thursday afternoon at the Seaton Road Methodist Church. We work with a team of trained and supervised volunteers. We are a registered charity and our charity number is 1151953. Our official address is Walton Parish Nursing, which is WPN office, Maidstone Road Baptist Church, Maidstone Road, Felixstowe, IP 11 9E for Echo, D for Delta. The contacts are, if you wish to contact Walton Parish Nursing, it's all one word, lowercase, contact us, and then at waltonpn.org.uk, or our webpage is www.waltonpn.org.uk.